Hello, friends. Welcome to a brand new episode of Lose Weight with Macros, the basics with me, your behavior change nutrition coach, Verona, personal trainer and mindset coach, committed to helping women who are busy and successful lose weight and keep it off whilst rebuilding your metabolism and equipping you with the mindset tools that you need to maintain this fat loss and never have to diet again. Yes, my friends, I'm giving you this promise. If you're ready to show up, then this is the place for you. But for now, grab your tea, your water, your coffee, or your liquid or beverage of choice, your notepad and pen, pull up a chair to the virtual table, of course, and let's get into today's episodes 4 mindsets to help you lose weight and keep it off. Okay, let's get it. Hey friend, welcome to Lose Weight with Macros, the basics podcast show with me, your host Verona. If you're somebody who's overwhelmed by all of the conflicting information out there, you're confused about how much protein you should be eating, how to count macros, you don't have time to figure out your macros, and you're sick and tired of repeating the same old boring meals because it is exhausting, you are in the right place. This Lose Weight with Macros basics podcast is specifically for you. You're the woman who wants to learn how to track your macros and do it sustainably, do it in a way that you can enjoy your foods and you don't have to cut out your favorite foods, and we're not here for that. So my friends, if this is you, grab your tea, grab your coffee, grab your water, grab your matcha, your notepad and pen, because today's episode is going to be a juicy one. So buckle up, friends, let's get it. Okay, friends, welcome to the show. If you are absolutely new to the show, you have no idea what macros is, and you're trying to find out what macros are and how they can actually help you lose fat and keep it off. It's not just about losing the weight, it's about how you can keep it off and maintain everything you learn. Then go over to the website vanutritioncoaching.co.uk/macros guide. There, I'm giving you my 5-minute breakdown as to what macros are, how they can help you when it comes to fat loss, for you to find out, actually, is this something that I can do? Do I, as a busy, successful mom, woman, have I got the time to commit to doing all of the things that macros need me to do in order for me to lose fat? Or is there something I can do by learning about this and actually applying it to myself now and having a mix? It's all about what works for you. There is no one diet that fits everybody, but this is a guide to help you realize and understand if this is actually something that's going to work for you right now. Most diets get us to work with them. They get us to adjust our life and to just rearrange all of our lives, all of what we do around the diet, rather than trying to fit us in, or rather than our lifestyles dictating to the diet. So diet culture gets us to think that we have to, even at Christmas, we've got to cut out carbs. Even at Christmas, we can't have this particular color container of food. All of these restrictions, especially at this season and time of year, is a diet culture's friend. It's a money grabbing and money making scheme. Don't get me started, friend. I'm about to go into a rant, but that's not what today's episode is about. But why I'm so passionate about equipping women with the tools and the right mindsets to really maintain this weight is because I was one of those women who struggled with fat loss or even fat gain. It was so easy to put on the weight, but it was harder to maintain the weight that I'd lost. There wasn't a problem in losing the fat. The problem was in maintaining it, because what would happen is somebody somewhere would not be appreciative wouldn't appreciate the level of serving that I did. Now, I'm a woman who loves to serve. I'm a type A personality, and I'm also a faith-filled woman, a Christian woman. And some of you might not be faith-filled, but some of you might be, but you love to serve. And when you serve with everything you have, and all that you require someday is just someone to turn around and say, you know what, I really appreciate you. Even if you don't like taking compliments, because it took me long to really accept a compliment. Oh yeah, thank you, but nobody needs a backstory. They're just giving you a compliment. Say thank you, accept it, move on. Now, even if you struggle with compliments, it's nice to hear thank you for all of the hard work you're doing, right? But hang on. When we are people pleasing, we do over and above the things that we think that we need to do for that person that actually they didn't actually ask us to do. Now, that's a hard pill to swallow, and that took me a long time to get over. Now, as a mindset coach, those people pleasing tendencies tend to live in all of us, but some of them we have high people pleasing tendencies than others. Now, if you are a high pleasing people pleaser like I am, I feel like I'm still doing a tongue twister here. Peter Piper picked a peck up, and I'm like, whoa, let's slow down. If you're a high functioning people pleaser like I was many years ago, you might find it hard, and you might find it even more emotional. You might be more highly sensitive, a HSP, highly sensitive person, when somebody doesn't say thank you, especially when you've gone over, above, and beyond. And what happens is we end up being tired, we've been frustrated, we're working with people when we're frustrated and we're so tired, but we give. But what happens to us? What happens to our health? What happens to our mindsets? What happens to our bodies? They tend up getting put on the back burner. And it's hard. It's rough. This isn't a rap. This isn't a rant. It's rough. And then we turn to diets. And even more with that thing, when now we're in that highest HSP state, we're in that highly emotional state. Or sometimes we can get angry and we're like, this person is so ungrateful. They don't even say thank you. This last time I'll do it for them. But then we go back to them because we just want to please them, or we want to receive some form of love or accolade or whatever. But we never really get it. I never really got it. And I had to go and get counseling for it. And then when we go to the diets now, the diets are then telling us to restrict the foods that we tend to go to or tend to turn to when that person doesn't say thank you. That person is even worse. Have you ever been in that position in a business and you know you stayed up late to work for this report or whatever it is, this document, to make sure your manager is useless? Yeah, you could be a better manager than your manager. Everybody else in the team has said it to you. Everyone else knows it but your manager. They come to you because they don't know what they're doing, maybe because they're not confident in what it is that they're doing or whatever else. They come to you to help them. You go over and above this presentation. You've got all the animations, you've got all the bells and whistles on it. You stay up late at night drinking multiple mugs of coffee. Your eyelids are closing, they're drooping, and your head is bopping at the laptop, but you've got to get it done, you've got to get it finished. And they look the bee's knees in the presentation. And they say thank you to everybody else but you, who slaved away at your laptop like I don't even know what, but they don't even give you a thank you. You made them look good, but they couldn't even publicly appreciate you, nor could they even say thank you in an email. Talk about kicking the guts. That would get me vexed. But because we're people pleasers, we still go back for that. And so when we deal with that stress and that high emotional stress, we tend to turn to our favorite foods. We tend to turn to our comfort foods. We tend to turn to whatever it is in terms of nutrition. We tend to turn to those things to soothe those angers, those fears, those emotions, and etc. But then when we turn to a diet and then we've gained weight, the diet actually tells us we need to cut back on the foods that we turn to in moments of stress. So if we actually have nothing to go to when in those moments of stress, what do we actually have? And so those diets work for a short time until they stop working. And then you go back to your normal habits. And it's like, man, Christmas comes, Thanksgiving comes, Easter, June, July, summertime. There's something that can happen, whether it's a wedding, a funerals. There will be something, an occasion where everything revolves around food, but your diet said you can't have that. And so when we're dealing with those things and those mindsets, we get into this mindset of, you know what, I can't be bothered, I've messed up, I might as well just do that. So when it comes to losing weight is a journey. You're going to have peaks and troughs, highs and lows. And one of the things that you're going to need to have is patience. And patience, even I need some patience for me. When I'm praying for patience, God don't just drop down patience from the heavens and be like, here you go, Verona. God puts me in situations that will test my patience. Believe me. If anybody can relate, say amen right there. But it is important that we need to be patient with ourselves. If you're somebody who wants to reach your goals when it comes to fat loss, not just reaching them, but you are killing the game when it comes to it. You're not falling back into bad habits often. You're learning how to be consistent with your nutrition, and you're learning to maintain those things through the tools that I've given you. One, the mindset tools, and two, the nutrition tools. You don't have to do it every single day to be successful, but you have to do it on a period of over a period of consistency, 80%, 70%, whatever fits in your day-to-day living, whatever fits in your lifestyle. And we'll discuss that when we go to coach on a one-to-one. Now, if you are interested in making me your coach, I'd love to have you, girl. I'd love to have you, girl. Head on over to the website, vanutritioncoaching.co.uk/coaching, and book your session with me, your free coaching call with me. Yes, 20 minutes just to have this conversation with me. You see me over on Zoom, but like, hi, hey girl, I love your accent. I know, I love it too. I love yours. And then I try to do a fake American accent and it's so bad and it's so it's so cringe. I'm like, oh, stop. But that kind of thing breaks the ice. It's like, you know what, I'm a real person. Let me just get to know each other a little bit more. I get to know your goals. We do talk about price. I'm not afraid to tell you the price. I'm not afraid to tell you how much coaching is. There's no secret here when it comes to coaching. It is a 4-figure investment when you're coaching with me on the one-to-one mindset coaching program. So be prepared for that. But at the same time, I'm not going to hide it from you. This is what the investment is. And we discuss whether or not this is a right fit for you at this particular time. So when it goes to being patient with yourself and when it comes to nutrition, the first mindset of the 4 we need to adopt is being patient with yourself. Some of us are like, mindset, is that a patience? Patience, is that a mindset? Absolutely. The 4 actual definitions of mindsets are growth mindset, self-efficacy mindset, the sense of belonging, and relevance. Those, if you want me to go into my mindset coaching here, that's what that is about. But being patient with yourself, it doesn't mean that you're going to lose weight overnight. Please get that notion out of your head if you do have it in your mind. It's not going to happen in a week or a month. If you are successful, one of the key things that's going to be a challenge for you is letting go of the expectation of just tell me what I need to eat. Let me tell you now, I'm not going to dictate to you what to eat. I will talk to you about what you like to eat. So if you're coming to me expecting me to tell you to eat chicken and broccoli and rice every day, I can't stand chicken and broccoli and rice, but it's not my nutrition, it's not my plan. However, I'm saying that to say I'm not going to give you boring, bland food. So there's no point in me coming to give you a boring meal plan. So we're not going to do that here. So just know that. So when it comes to losing fat, it takes as long as it takes. And that is one of the things that can give you freedom. If it takes 6 years, it takes 6 years. Now we're hoping it's not going to take that long. But my point is it takes as long as it takes. If you're consistent in building the nutrition and you're consistent in doing what needs to be done, yes, you're not going to do it all day. You're not going to feel like doing it all day, because some of you, me included, I like my tea, my coffee. I don't like marshmallow, but some of you like hot chocolate and marshmallow. Some of you like the chili. Some of you like to have sloppy joes, and you like to have some, we call them crisps. You like to have crisps with yours. You can have it, whatever. These are comfort foods, and this is the season that we're in, where you're bringing out the slipper socks and you're bringing out the hot chocolates more than one in a night. Now, I'm not somebody to dictate to you, don't eat that, because you are going to turn around and eat that. Or you might not eat it for a period of time, and then you might start to sneak it in at 1 o'clock at night. You're like, I could do with a hot chocolate. And then when you show up and you're tracking, you're wondering why you're not losing fat, and you're like, wait, I'm doing everything right. Are you really? Are you actually doing everything right? Okay, tell me about your nutrition this week. Well, you see. So when you're being patient with yourself, if you're giving yourself enough time in the beginning, you know that you don't have to do any of those things. Let's be open, let's be honest, let's be transparent to get you the results that you need to get over the time it takes to get it. Second mindset is to make small sustainable changes. I'm always talking about this, constantly always talking about this, because it's a process. And losing weight, as I've just said, is step one, is going to take time, it's going to take consistency, and it's going to take effort. That does not involve me dictating to you. You're not going to be able to put the effort in if you're just coming to the session and be like, Verna, what you got for me now? What are we learning today? No, we've got to come together. I'm coming alongside you as your coach, giving you accountability, your accountability partner. And sometimes I am going to tell you a little bit like, well, if you're not losing weight, look at your food. And if you're not, is this all that you've eaten? Now, because I've been doing this for a while, I know, even if you don't tell me, I know whether you have or you haven't. But we're not children here. We're not at school. If you don't want to tell me, that's up to you. At the end of the coaching program, if you can turn around and say, right, I've consistently done this, I've consistently done that. There are things that we will do in the program to make sure we're getting the whole picture. When I'm taking you through this coaching, we're not paying full-figure investment for no reason. I am taking you through this so you can get your results. So the next one is your focusing on health. We're talking about how you can focus on health, not just weight. And number four is being kind to yourself. This is the most important mindset of all, and it's the one that's easy to forget when you're feeling frustrated, when your body is not doing what you want it to do, when the scale is not showing you the number that you want to see, when it's not doing all the things. This is when we are becoming a detective into your weight loss and your nutrition, with the mentality and mindset of being kind to yourself, being patient with yourself, taking things one day at a time. But if you're somebody who's struggling with compassion, one of the things that you can do is each day to think about the ways in which you can be kinder towards yourself and others. For example, it could look like this. Today, I'm going to eat healthy food because my body deserves better than what I've given it in the past. Or I'm going to exercise today because this body was built through years of hard work. Now, that might sound so silly, because the reason is it's going to sound silly. It's like, yeah, I'm going to get it, everybody. Yeah. It can sound a little bit, you know how that sounds so false, and that sounds like over the top kind of, and it's like, no. So you're tweaking it obviously in the way that sounds like you. Like today at church, I signed up, and I haven't done drama at church for years, but I thought, actually, let me be part of the Christmas play. So if any of you are familiar with acting, or you're familiar with screenwriting or plays, we do a sit around. So the first thing we actually did is they called the people that were in the scenes. So I'm in scene 3, and I've only got a few lines, quite literally, but my character is quite like myself in real life, a little bit animated, a little bit eccentric, a little bit, out there. I'm not quite too eccentric, but I can be when, I want to be. But that was my character, and we sat around the table and we're reading. And have you ever listened to somebody who reads something, or you've listened to a podcast and the person's voice is so monotonous, like you're just like, can you stop talking? Can you hear how today we are going to rain in the south region, and please take your umbrella because it's going to rain. There will be strong winds and strong easterly winds and strong northern winds and all winds all around. And can you You can't actually focus on what it is they're talking about because you're just listening to the drone of their voice. And sometimes when it can be, that's what our negative voice can be like to us. And that's what these trying to say, these positive affirmations, they can first sound like to us. They can feel so foreign and so alien. And when we were sitting around the screenplay, it was so disjointed. People were just reading and I'm like, I can't feel it. Like none of you are acting. You're just kind of just reading what's on the script. And I was lost because we ended up reading through the whole script and I'm like, I can't get the sense of the play. But it was a good thing that the screenwriter and the scriptwriter was actually saying to us that actually, well, the next time that we meet, we're actually then going to stand up and start acting. I was like, praise the Lord. Whew, praise the Lord for that, because right now I'm not feeling like I want to do this because there was nothing that was like, there. But when I started to see, right, it's going to pick up. When I got to understand the story a little bit better, it's going to pick up. I was a little bit more at ease. And that's the same thing when we can start saying things of positive affirmations to ourselves. Now, how many of us, even though we're successful, we can say all of the right things and encouraging things, motivating things, inspiring things to others. When it comes to ourselves, have you ever been overly critical of yourself? 2 hands up for me. There have been times where people will say, I really love working with you. And I'm like, did you see when that happened? Yeah, nobody saw what you can see. Stop highlighting things on to you that should be a full stop. You're putting commas in your life or over your problems that should be a full stop. Stop magnifying things that don't need to be magnified in your life. If you want to magnify things, focus on magnifying 1 on the negative behaviors and negative mindsets, 2 focusing on overeating and undereating, and 3 focus on the things that are stopping you from actually getting sustainable results. Put the magnifying glass on that, and when you can clearly see those things, we'll make a plan together to how you can overcome those. That's what it's talking about. That's what I'm talking about when you're doing positive affirmations. They're going to sound like mumbo jumbo. You are going to feel like you're that weatherman who is just droning, and it's like, is there another weatherman? Sometimes you see one weatherman and you see the weather woman, she's on a 100 and he's on -50, and you're like, whoa, is there not another weatherman in between this? So it can feel like all of those things, but I'm promising you, when you start to actually speak in your words, when you start to actually speak and own those things, actually, I want to be more confident. Whether you're somebody who struggles with intimacy and you're making sure all the lights are off so your husband can't see any part of your body, you don't even want to go near the bedroom, any area that you're in, you can start to speak life over those things. Believe me, it's going to be challenging the first few times that you start to say it. You're going to feel silly. You're going to feel like, this don't make no sense. Forget all of that, but focus on those things. Focus on those things and saying those things. Now, it's not about whether you feel it at that moment in time. It's about saying things that are realistic to you. When it comes to mindset, you can absolutely lose weight and keep it off by focusing on your mindset. And that's what I teach you. Those are the tools that I equip you with as a behavior change nutrition coach, helping you change behaviors that are hindering you from weight loss all over the 16-week period. That's why it's over 16 weeks. And my friends, when you get to the end of coaching, you will be like, oh my gosh, is it over already? Oh my gosh, can we do it again? If you want to continue and just do month by month with me, absolutely, we can do that. Some of you will go on to do that. Some of you will go on to finish. Some of you will go on to be actual nutrition coaches yourself. The possibilities are endless, but we've just got to step out and we've got to continue to speak life over ourselves and be confident and believe that we can do all things. And so, my friends, the good news is that you can lose weight and keep it off by focusing on these key changes in your mindset. And it won't happen overnight. That can be the not so good news that we don't like hearing, but don't get discouraged on your journey. When I'm your wing woman, I'm going to be encouraging you and helping you to focus on the long term and helping you make small changes to your lifestyle that will eventually and ultimately lead you down the path of success, maintenance, and building healthy, sustainable habits and mindsets that keep the fat off. You may gain and fluctuate between 5 pounds or so, but that's absolutely fine, because by then, if that does happen through life, through menopause, through different foods that you eat, or through time of the month, you will know that what the cause is specifically to you, and you will know you don't need to restrict yourself. So, my friends, I hope you've enjoyed today's episode. 4 mindsets to help you lose weight and keep it off. And that's it, friends. So go and grab the macros guide via nutritioncoaching.co.uk/macros guide. If you are somebody who has no idea about what macros are and you want to know a little bit more, the links will also be in the show note for you to book your call with me if you are ready to make me your one-to-one coach and sign up to high ticket coaching. Cannot wait to see you on the next one. Hey friend, you made it to the end of the episode. What was your biggest takeaway from today's episode? Don't forget to subscribe to the podcast and leave a review over on iTunes. And if you have any questions, comments, or concerns about today's episode, or you need help, then you can contact me over on Instagram at VA Nutrition Coaching Podcast, or email me support at vanutritioncoaching.co.uk, or you can head over to the Facebook page, VA Nutrition Coaching Podcast. It helps us reach even more women who are fed up of dieting, don't know how to lose weight, they're frustrated with following Sally's results and they're not getting any of their own, and they just finally want to shed some pounds and do it in a way that they can sustain and they can enjoy. But my friends, that's a wrap for today's episode. I can't wait to catch you on the next one. Until then, friends, stay healthy, stay blessed, and remember, if you haven't already downloaded your 5-ingredient recipe pack, you can go to the website vanutritioncoaching.co.uk/recipes and download your 5-ingredient recipe pack. Who said healthy eating was boring? See you next time, friend.